So
You got somebody watching? It's so creepy. You're creepy
Yeah.
watching us.
don't listen to him. I mean, Artemis is the one who like basically helped us set up the babies and broadsword stuff and got everybody organized. So thank you again for that.
Damage control.
Don't listen to anything Dan says. Dan is the Maddie of this campaign. Just gonna troll everybody.
I'm not very good at it.
All right, cool. Good enough. Anyway, welcome to the shit show that is Hammer of the Gods. I'm Dungeon Master Rick. Dan, who are you?
Bion the ass clappinist. Bion of the cheek.
Bion of the cheek. I like that. That's a good one. Keeping that.
Gas cheeks.
Well, yeah. How's it going, Artemis? All right. Yeah. Anyway, so Dan, you want to give us the recap from last time?
Well, I mean, I know we were looking for my father who went missing, and oh no,
last episode.
Last episode.
We'll get to that in a second.
Is that not what we're talking about?
Yeah, that was episode 2. We'll get there. We're talking about the last episode, the most recent one.
Oh, where I was going through the study?
Nope.
Oh god.
That's still episode 2. So last time was when
a third episode? I thought this was episode 3.
No, this is episode 9.
Of the backstory?
No, but the backstory is like part of the same thing. Because it's just flashback. It's just flashback. You're spoiling. You're giving all the tea right now.
Bro, I'm not good at that. You should always just give the flashback.
I'm not even to the flashback. You skipped straight to it.
Okay,
last time.
Rick, tell us what happened last episode, Rick. Tell us.
Oh, thank you. I'm glad I'm allowed to do that. So last time, Bion and Nikotas were trying to figure out the source of, I guess, like who had taken Demos. Jesus, can't remember names. And so Demos being Nikotas's former partner, Demetrios's younger brother, who he had found whenever he went on his own with Maya. Oh, different Demos. There's 3 Demoses in our world. I didn't realize this whenever Derek had sent me his like backstory for his character, that Demos was the name of one of Ares' sons. Had no clue. They're very like minor gods. But then Jason from Even Footing Games in our second Babies and Broadsword stream played the god Demos. So
yeah, I mean, I didn't know that Demos was a god either until I think Jimothy sent us that AI generator for Greek gods, and it had Demos on it, and I was like, "Well, what the fuck?" And then I was like, "Oh,
did it? I don't remember that."
Yeah, straight up.
Yeah, El Jefe.
Oh, Jefe.
Yeah. So anyway, back to the recap.
Yes. Yeah.
Doing fantastic on keeping focus tonight, as per usual. So last time, let me see. Oh yeah, you guys were tracking down. So you went back to headquarters of the VCIP, prayed to the wrong gods, figured out what you were doing, prayed to the right gods, and then you had to face the riddle of the autonome. Oh, you're good, Artemis. I'm easily distracted anyway. You know how that goes. All these people with ADHD, all on one podcast.
Why?
It was a good choice. So, fuck. I lost my train of thought.
So we prayed to the gods. I prayed to the wrong
yes.
god. We switched gods. We went to meet the auto gnome.
Yeah.
We did the
riddle of
riddles.
the auto gnome.
We beat the riddles because we beat the riddles.
Yeah, one of them was roads.
I don't know if
Thus
that's a
the name.
spoiler or not.
Well, if they're watching it live, then hopefully they watched the last one. Or
All
hopefully
roads
they
lead to
also
Nome.
or hopefully it's just Tim and he's already forgotten what we did every
Yeah.
episode ever.
So we beat the riddles.
Yeah.
We went.
You had
I can't
gotten
remember.
information of so the Auto Gnome had basically told you that the people you're looking for were the Cult of Chaos,
Yes.
and the Cult of Chaos
Yes.
always had people wind up without tongues and dead. And so you went back again to the BCIP. You were digging through case files, which is both of you were great at reading, fantastic at it.
I paid
the
my way
best.
through school. I'm sorry.
Yeah. And so I don't think you really got a whole lot from that other than the carnival was loosely tied to the Cult of Chaos, allegedly. Yes. You guys had gone back to the school, and even though you both agreed, oh, hey, talking to Kina is probably a waste of time, she's probably not involved, that would be an unnecessary diversion, you ended up questioning Kina. And she tried to break Nikitas's arm because he kept trying to cast spells on her. Very, very subtly.
He was really good at it.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, so where we left off was Kina had been borderline about to break his arm for realsies when you guys got jumped.
Yeah, when Gene Simmons showed up.
Yeah, two dudes with long tongues jumped you guys. So as they were shooting this fire at you, we're going to go back in time. So
PTSD strikes.
Sure. Yeah. So we're gonna go back to the flashback that we started back in episode 2, and then I forgot to finish because Tim came back next time, and then I was like, okay, cool, we'll just fuck off and do something else.
Yeah, I think that was 2 months ago, 3 months ago.
We don't have to talk about that.
Okay.
So anyway, where we had left off in the flashback, Dan, you started to explain.
With the flashback series, and exploring Bion's past and why he's so stupid.
We're not getting into why he's so stupid. That's too long.
Right. Okay. So I'm at my estate, my family estate, because again, Bion is extremely wealthy. He does not use floor money at all. Extremely wealthy, exploring his estate because his father has gone missing, and he's trying to figure out where his father went missing to. And the end of the session, we were in the father's study and found a pool of blood. And then we were on the balcony. I feel very judged right now because you're smiling. You're smirking.
I was smiling at the internet.
Well, it doesn't matter. I'm leaving. Bye. We were in the study, then we went on the balcony, then we heard footsteps, and we went out into the hallway, and there was nobody there, and then it was over.
We meaning the royal we of just Bion and himself.
Yeah, just me and Bion. Yeah.
You and Bion. Dan was in the game in real life. And
listen, it's a hillbilly thing, man. Even when I'm hanging up the phone for somebody, hey, we'll talk to you later.
Sure.
I do. I don't know.
I'm just gonna do, with the dude reference that it's the royal we.
Yes.
Anyway, so yeah, you hear these footsteps as you're out on the balcony of your father's study. Not like his main study, probably. This was just kind of where he goes to get away whenever he wants to get away from getting away because you guys are rich.
Right.
And so, yeah, to also recap a little bit that we didn't cover, you had found mysterious sticky red something on the walls near the brewing station. in your father's study. And then that was whenever, I don't remember why you went out on the balcony, you just did. Probably just because you wanted to. And so whenever you heard those footsteps, you ran back in the room, did not see anything, and there were no like footprints or anything as you went out in the hall. So, what are you doing, Bion?
I'm very perturbed that there were footsteps, but now there's nobody in the hallway. That's alarming to me because my detective instincts tell me that if there's nobody in the hallway, there were footsteps, there should be somebody in the hallway.
Maybe.
So I don't see anybody at all.
Nope.
Do I notice any doors open?
I mean, you see that there's a door open like halfway down the hallway, and this is a very long hallway. This is, this enormous estate that you live on.
Do I know what room that is? I mean, it is my family's estate.
Right. I mean, it's pretty massive though. So off the top of your head, you're like, I don't really know what room that is.
Go check out that room with the door open. That
Cool.
seems suspicious.
Yeah. So as you approach, are you just like walking up to it? Are you stealthing up to it? What are you doing?
I don't stealth.
Ever.
Negative to dexterity, remember?
I do not remember. I've slept since then.
Well, anyway. So I'm just going to walk up to the room and I'm going to... How open is the door? Is it like open, or is it like cracked open?
It's like about a quarter cracked open.
Can I hear anything?
Roll perception for me.
I don't hear anything.
Did you get a 1?
No, I got like a 6.
Yeah. Well, I mean, even with a 6, you can still hear stuff. You don't just go deaf suddenly.
But I don't hear anything cool.
Yeah, nothing like unexpected. So as you like creep up, and I imagine you probably put your ear a little bit towards like the crack of the door so you can hear more gooder. And as you do, you hear humming coming from inside.
Like a song or like a noise? Just like a buzz hum type thing?
Like somebody is like humming a song.
Seems suspicious. Do I know the song? Is it Back in Black by AC/DC?
How'd you know? How'd you know? That is a very hummable song.
I'm trying to decide if I want to knock on the door or if I want to pull a Bion and just... Yeah, I'm just gonna pull a Bion and I'm just gonna burst right in.
You are Bion, so
yeah, I'm just gonna go straight in. I'm just gonna throw the door open and be like, ah, gotcha.
And as you do, you see one of the maids from the household, which this isn't weird to you, Bion. Maybe weird to Dan, we'll find out. So it is a gelatinous cube that is just like humming the song to itself as it's just like going around cleaning up the room.
A gelatinous cube as a maid.
Yep.
I mean, don't gelatinous cubes like dissolve stuff whenever it gets inside of them? So,
well, yeah,
I guess that makes sense.
it could just dissolve the dust.
That would explain why it's completely spotless in the hallway. Does the gelatinous cube have like a body or anything inside of it that I can tell?
No, there are no like dead people floating in there.
Listen,
I mean,
it was worth. It was worth.
There's a lot of floor money.
A lot of floor money. Well, I'm glad somebody's getting it put to good use.
Yes, Artemis, it is a gelatinous cube in a maid outfit. How did you know?
like a little French maid outfit, a little black and white.
Sure, or like whatever
Cute.
the Greek equivalent would be,
Super adorable. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's not like this great big one that would eat John's character or anything. It's like we'll say it's the size of like a normal trash can.
Okay, neat.
Yeah.
I don't know that they can talk, so how is it humming?
Are you saying this out loud, or are you just like thinking this to yourself?
Thinking that to myself, personally. I'm gonna ask it if it's, oh, pardon me, maid. Have you seen anybody running around here suspiciously?
And it just continues to hum, but you see that like words start to appear on it.
Can I read them, or am I
Yeah.
still not able to read?
I mean, well, a little questionable how good you can read, but you know. So do you get closer to it, or are you like keeping your distance still?
I get closer to it. So I can read the
Okay.
words.
So as you get closer to read the words, it says, "Hello, how may I help you?"
I already asked, but have you seen anybody around here?
I see you.
Anybody that wasn't me and that wasn't you?
I saw some other people
What were they? Where were they?
in the house.
Were they in this room?
One time, sure.
Oh my God, you're so difficult. You and your little reedy wall is so difficult.
It's so you know that gelatinous cubes are not like highly intelligent creatures. You also would recognize that the cubes in your household have been enchanted. For one, they're awakened, so they have like more intelligence than an average gelatinous cube. Thus, why it's able to hum. And they're also enchanted so that it can like pop up words to
Yes,
communicate.
yes.
Yeah.
Fancy. All right, well, I guess the gelatinous cube is probably a dead end for me. So instead, is there anything around the room that looks out of place or suspicious or weird?
Everything looks extremely in order and clean.
Okay. I'm going to tell the cube to make sure it does not clean my father's study, to stay out of there, and to let all of the other maids know to stay out of there.
It says, "Okay, I will continue following the rules."
Perfect. Perfect. I'm going to go back out in the hallway.
You're gonna what?
Go back out to the hallway.
Okay, perfect. Sorry, there's people being loud.
I can hear them.
Good. That's gonna be fantastic for later.
They're not like super loud or anything, but I can definitely hear them. I'm sure it's annoying where you're at.
I mean, if I'm talking or like if I can hear you, then it's not so bad. Let me turn this up actually. I can hear you more gooder, which is the phrase of the night, apparently.
More better.
More gooder.
I can read more better.
Aha, look at that.
So can I go back into the study and do another perception check to see if there's anything I missed?
I mean, you're pretty sure that you got everything.
Okay.
So keep in mind, at this point, this is prior to you joining the BCIP. You're a much younger.
Yeah, I'm not very good.
Yeah. At this point,
No.
you're 53. You're 53, and I think I said like 3/4 or something like that.
Something
Years
silly,
old.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Not that I'm very
Which
good
is
with
also-
BCIB either, but you know.
Which is also like according to your mom, and you know that your parents were not like, they weren't bad parents. They just weren't very attentive because you're rich, and you know they
Yeah,
were just doing
exactly.
other stuff like rich
Exactly.
people stuff.
My maid was my nanny was probably a cube also, so that's why it's not weird at all.
Yeah. It's also
just,
why you have no
you know.
fingerprints.
Yeah, that would make sense. That would make perfect sense. I'm going to continue down the hallway away from the study, the direction that this door is in. And I'm just going to be kind of like sus the whole time, trying to make sure there's nothing that I'm missing.
Okay,
Does
cool.
that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay.
So you're sus as fuck the whole time. And so you're looking around. You see that one of the doors has a little bit of a red stain at the bottom, just like a small red stain. And you see that it's pooled a little bit underneath.
Yes, there was a red stain in the study too. So this is what I'm looking for when I say I'm being sus. I'm just gonna listen, I guess, again. Can I hear anything on the other side? Give it a roll.
Yeah, roll perception.
14.
Okay. So as you're listening at the door, you hear whispering. It's very like
Sneaky.
conspiratorial type whispering.
Whispers are bad for your teeth. So
What are bad for your teeth?
whispers.
What? I don't even know what that means, but okay.
Don't worry. Bion knows. Bion knows.
Yes.
I'm
movie
going
do know.
to. I'm going to sneakily open the door.
Roll a stealth check.
Oh boy.
I know your best ability.
14.
Look at you.
17 minus 3.
Nothing but 14s tonight. -3. Holy shit.
Yeah, I rolled a 5 when I was creating the character and I put it in Dex.
Amazing. That is beautiful. You're doing so good, Bion. Yeah, so you start to like slowly open this door and you feel like it's about to creak, right? And so you like pause for a second. But as you do, you can see shadows moving inside of the room.
Are they like humanoid shadows?
It's a little bit hard to tell. You just see shadows right now. Because it's only maybe like that far open, like 2 inches maybe.
Okay. Can I make out the whispers any better? Like, is it like
Um,
can I tell what they're saying now?
I'll have you roll another perception check.
18.
Okay. So as you listen more gooder, with the door cracked,
Of course.
you hear. What is your father's name?
You would ask that.
Let's see.
I don't know if we ever said.
I don't think we
right
said your
now?
mom's name either, honestly. Hold on. I'm gonna make up a name real quick. Hold on. No, hold on. I got you.
Okay.
On fancy name generators right this minute.
Yeah,
As we speak.
I mean, the thing is I didn't really know them that well. They didn't really take care of me. As far as I knew, they were just mommy and daddy.
Pretty much. So your dad is Nictinus, who usually just goes by Nick. Yeah, he just goes by Nick usually. Big Nick mostly.
Nictinus.
Yep.
AKA Big Nicky. Okay. What's mom's name?
Eunice.
Fucking about.
Yeah.
Eunice, AKA Lil Peep.
Not gonna go like Easy or anything now.
That would straight be Lil Peep.
Yeah. Yeah.
Hi. Okay, so I rolled, and I'm assuming I'm hearing them say his name.
What?
I rolled for the perception, and then you asked me about the name. So
Yeah. So, as you are listening, you hear bits and pieces. Still not quite enough to like make out the full conversation, but you hear some whispers about Big Nick and the business.
well, hearing that, knowing what's going on, I immediately throw the door open.
Okay.
What's going on in here?
So as you do, you see a couple of your uncles and another dwarf who you've never seen before.
Mhm. Yes. I mean, since I threw the door open and yelled, "What's going on in here?" I'm sure they know that I know that they, So
They know something.
yeah.
They're like, oh, hello, Bion, nephew, what are you doing? You
What's
just
what's
indoors
going on?
again.
What's going on in here, guys? Big unks.
They just say, oh, well, we were just chatting and catching up with an old friend here.
Oh, what's this old friend's name? I don't think I've ever met him. And I walk across the room with my hand out, like I'm gonna shake his hand.
Okay. So this other dwarf says, Oh, hello. I'm Philona.
Philona?
Hmm. And yes, she is very bearded.
Philona. Big Phil.
Medium-sized Phil.
Excuse me, Philona, are you allergic to bees?
Actually, yes.
Weird, weird. Do I notice anything like strange about her?
About her, no. You notice that there are a lot of like papers on the table in between them all.
Nice. Deduce anything from the papers without being too suspicious?
No, it's not big enough letters, and you're not like right there with them to be able to read it easily.
Gotcha. Also, I'm assuming I tracked the red goo through the room because it was by the door when I stormed in.
So you don't see it anywhere else. It was just on the door and kind of like a little puddle,
Is it still there?
like by the door. Yeah.
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 I'm gonna ask them if they know what it like. What? By the way, do you know what this puddle is? I've been seeing it all over the house.
Oh, I have no idea, but maid, come in here and get this. You're slacking on the job. And the I almost said the Roomba. The cube.
I mean, that's basically
Yeah,
what's created here.
the estate Roomba. No, they are semi-sentient, so I'm going to refer to them as such. Respectfully. The maid comes and cleans up the little stain that was on the door and the little bit that was on the floor.
I mean, do we know that Roombas aren't semi-sentient?
Let's not go there. I don't want to know. And I'm frightened.
Okay. I turn my attention back to Big Phil and the unks. Man, I feel like I should have better questions for these guys right now. I'm gonna ask them why they were. What I heard you mention father's name in the business. Is everything okay?
Oh, we were just talking with medium-sized Phil here about the business and how it's doing.
Well, how is it doing? Is it doing well? Doing well?
Oh, it's always doing well. You do see the house, right?
Perfect, perfect. Yes, father worked so hard to make sure this company stays on top. Tell me, where is he today? Do you know?
Oh, he's probably about somewhere.
Well, yeah, but I mean, you are his brothers, so I would assume you would know.
Am I my brother's keeper?
Me?
I'm not
Assuming.
yet, but that's in the paperwork, and he just kind of like shuffles some stuff about, and he's like, "Here," and he holds up a scroll that says, "Will be Big Nick's keeper if anything happens."
Perfect, perfect. Yes, yes. What is all this paperwork, by the way? It looks like are you guys signing contracts for something? Is there something happening? What's going on
Oh,
here?
it's just the usual business. I know that you aren't very interested in the business of business, but
Oh yes,
you're more interested in the business of the BCIP. I know you're looking to join the academy soon, isn't that right?
yes, yes, yes. Business is boring. Yes, I would much rather be out on the streets, really flexing my talents, taking my skills to South Beach, you know what I mean?
Yes, I do remember you call your cheeks your talents.
Yes, yes, they are quite nice. Tell me, Big Phil, are you one of our business partners that I've never met? I've met most of Father's partners, so
And they say, Bion, we're actually pretty busy here, so why don't we catch up with you later?
hmm, yes, yes. I guess you do seem quite busy. I guess I'll head out and like I want to. Can I make like one last like check around the room real quick to make sure there's nothing else in there sus?
Sure.
I don't.
Is it a one?
That's two. Might as well be a
Total?
fucking one.
Is it a two
Total.
total?
Well, two plus it would be a four. But
Yeah. I mean, again, like it's not always just going to be like, oh well, nothing. So even with a four, you stop to think, like, yes, it's not a great role, but you're like, that paperwork did say that my uncle would be my father's keeper if anything happened to him.
Definitely suspicious.
You know.
All right, I guess I go ahead and leave the room,
Okay.
but I don't shut the door.
And as you walk out, and you're like, I assume you're gonna walk further down the hall, or you just kind of like hanging out?
Just gonna stand there by the door, just kind of like looking at him. Go on about
Wait,
your
so
business.
you're standing in the doorway, like staring at them?
Please
expect nothing
don't mind me. Go about your business. It's totally fine to be kicked out of a house in my room at my own house. It's totally acceptable. Yes.
And as you say that, the door just like shuts, and you see that the maid kind of like squeaks its way under the crack of the door.
How rude.
Okay.
How rude. Good idea. I'm gonna pretend to walk away. I'm gonna like step, like heavy, and then like slowly make my steps quieter.
Yeah, I've seen the Pink Panther in every great detective movie ever.
Yes, I'm gonna give it a try.
Cool. Roll a deception.
You want deception or performance?
Oh, deception for sure.
Both of them suck, so it doesn't really matter. All right, let's see. 11?
Okay.
So I got
So
hyped for a second because it stopped on the 20 and then it rolled over to the 10.
so as you are doing this, you just hear, "Go on, Bion." It only works one time. You've done that at least twice today.
Yeah, but well, you can't blame a man for trying.
And you just hear chuckles from within, and then silence.
Is there a room directly next door?
There's not.
Damn it. Okay. I guess I'll continue down the hallway away from that door, away the direction that I've been going, I guess. Have I come to any like splits? Is this just like a really long straight hallway?
Currently, it is just a really long straight hallway, but eventually, like you can see at the far end of it, there's a doorway, and then it also turns to the right.
Let's go right.
Okay. So as you go right, you see stairs that lead down and out to the gardens. You know this because there's just like nothing once you turn. It's just open air.
Well, let's go to the garden.
Okay.
So I make my ass clappingest way down the stairs as quickly as I can. My boots thundering, ass cheeks a clapping the whole way.
Say, is it the boots or the booty?
Hey, could be both. Listen, it is what it is.
Yeah.
Okay.
So what are you trying to do?
I don't know. I'm trying to find my dad. Is what I'm trying to do.
Well, yeah, but like right this minute, what are you trying to do?
Do I see anything in the garden? Like any kind of, looks like maybe there was a struggle or somebody being dragged along?
Roll, I would say an investigation this time, because you're going to be a little bit more like thorough, looking for clues and stuff.
So that'd be 11 again?
Sorry, I'm just responding to the chat because I can do that today.
I'll be back. I'm still here.
Oh, okay. It made me worry for a second. You just disappeared.
Nope.
Okay, so you got an 11. With your 11, you're looking around and you see that there is a furball gardener who seems to be like picking up leaves. You see that some of the shrubbery looks like it might have been damaged, but it's now in nice, like, proper form that it's supposed to be.
Okay, so nothing out there.
Well, so whenever I say that, like, it appears like it could have been damaged, you know this because of the leaves being the same leaves, like the ones that are being raked up, are the same ones that were from the shrub.
Hmm.
But it seems like maybe somebody would have, like, used some magic, you can assume, just because you know, like, what the staff around the estate can do. You know that there are at least a few druids who work in the gardens. One of them is a furbolg, and so you know that they could have, like, used some druid magic to repair the shrubbery.
Do I know the furbolg name?
We're just doing that tonight. Good thing I
Is this
kept up that
Gardner?
generator.
Gardner, hello. I can just do that.
Oh, yeah, no, so I mean, I still have fantasynamegenerators.com, not sponsored.
None can roll up.
Okay, so as you do, the gardener turns to you and says, "Oh, hello. I didn't hear you there."
That's amazing that you said that. I appreciate that. I'm normally, people normally hear me coming from at least 100 feet away. I try to be super quiet, but I'm just dummy thick.
Yes, I have heard tales of
Yeah,
your tale.
it is my tale. Yes, yes, perfect. Hey, listen, I had a question. This bush, these leaves that you're picking up from this bush, what happened? Like, why were there so many leaves tore off this bush?
You know, that's a great question, and I would tell you if I knew. But as you know, our job here is just to make sure that everything is always in order.
Yes, yes, and you do such a magnificent job. And let me ask you a question. You're a druid, yes? You
Yes,
study the druidic arts?
I did.
Perfect. Are you able to revert this back to what it looked like before you fixed it?
Hmm, that is a great question. And they say, no, but I could probably, like, paint you a word picture.
Yes, paint me a word picture, funny man.
Or
That'd be
actually,
perfect.
here, let me do this. And so they are going to druid craft these leaves that they were raking up, and they're going to make just kind of like an illusory shrub, and it kind of looks like maybe a dwarf-shaped and sized being might have run through these shrubs.
Hmm. Can I investigate around that shrub area to see if there's any footsteps or anything in the dirt?
So as you're doing this, I wanted to make you roll. So the gardener says, "Oh, yeah, I know that there were footsteps, but, well, so many weird things happen around here. You know, your father is quite the eccentric. So I just do what I was told. Our job is to always clean up all of the weird messes and not ask questions. So that's what I did."
Yes, yes, and we appreciate it. Tell me, speaking of father, have you seen him by chance?
Well, that's the thing. He doesn't really come out to the gardens all that often. So nope,
Yes.
I have not really seen him up close ever. He just is almost a spooky looking figure standing on the balcony. Different balconies from time to time, but
Yes,
I've never seen him up close.
he can be quite aloof, and I do agree he is quite spooky.
Yeah,
Yes, no.
he's very. You know that your father is very pale because he rarely goes outside.
Yes, he's very, very spooky.
Yes.
Well, anyway, thank you for your time. And I flick him a gold coin. And thank you for your work. And I'm going to walk where I think the footsteps would have gone from the bush.
And you kind of hear as, like, they're kind of mumbling about floor money.
It wasn't floor money. That was out of my.
Oh, they're not being, like, not thankful. They're just, like, talking about how you guys leave so much money lying around on the floor.
Floor money's worthless to me. I'm not going to touch it. So, anyway, I continue through the bush. Do I find anything on the other side of the bushes from the garden area?
So you do not, but you see that there are a couple more gardeners off in the distance, and they
Like-
seem to be like hurriedly. They have like a wheelbarrow, and they're like pushing it, and you just kind of can hear them bickering a little bit as they go.
Yeah, we're gonna follow them. I'm gonna follow. Yeah, Bion is gonna take off as sneakily but quickly as he can, like rolling thunder across the plains.
Oh man, yeah, that is very sneaky, so sneaky, the sneakiest. Yeah, so as you get up to them, what do you do? What are you doing? What are you saying?
Well, I'm gonna hail them down first of all, like, "Hey, hello."
Yeah,
Hello.
sorry, we're really busy.
Yes, I. Well, listen, you have to stop for me. That's literally your job. So Thanks.
Actually, our job is shrubs mostly and flowers.
rude. What do you got?
You're a dwarf.
Okay. Well, listen. I need to ask you a couple questions, then you can be on your way. Just give me just a few moments.
Yeah, okay.
Great. What's in the wheelbarrow?
Nothing.
Nothing. Can I see anything in the wheelbarrow? Is it empty?
It's covered up by a tarp.
What's under the tarp?
Nothing. What tarp?
The tarp that's in the wheelbarrow? And I kind of
Oh,
gestured.
I didn't even know that was there.
What kind of gardener are you?
Pretty mediocre.
I'm going to try to reach down and pull the tarp off of the wheelbarrow.
Okay. So as you do, one of them is going to step in front of you, like step into your path, and just says, "Oh, yeah, sir, you should just go. Everything's fine here, but just go ahead, and we'll take care of this." And the other one immediately starts running with his wheelbarrow.
I'm going to immediately chase the wheelbarrow person. This is very suspicious.
And so what's going to happen is, so there are two gnomes, and the one who was like blocking your way as you try to run around him is going to just like go for your ankles. So
That can be another dex check.
yep. Oh, yeah. So he rolled a 1, and so he just eats shit. Like
Oh, perfect.
face
I don't have
first.
to roll against him.
I mean, he like goes face first.
Perfect.
You could also end up rolling a 1, so go right ahead.
Oh boy. 5. 8 minus 3. I thought it was a 3. I was like, what happens now?
Well, with your 5, you are wildly successful against his 1, as he eats shit, trying to like take out your ankles. And he says, "No, sir, please don't. I'm gonna get fired."
As I'm running off, I'm going to say over my shoulder, "I hope you get fired." And I keep going.
And he just says, "Oh, my kids are gonna hate this."
I want to try and run down the wheelbarrow gnome.
Okay, so as you chase after him, you hear the other gardener is running as fast as they can after you. And he's like, "Please, sir, no."
This is very I feel like the Benihana music.
Benihana,
Not Benihana,
Benny Hill.
Benny Hill. Yeah, Benihana. Benihana music.
Yeah, the PF Chang's music.
What up? Anyway, the Benny, anyway, next sex. While I'm chasing the wheelbarrow, being chased by the other gnome, and I'm going to yell at the gnome in front of me to stop, and I'm going to yell at the gnome behind me. I'm not stopping until you tell me what's in the wheelbarrow.
It's a surprise.
I don't like surprises.
Yeah, that's why we were told that you can't see it.
Who told you?
It's a surprise.
Do I know? Can I tell if he's lying or not?
Roll an insight check. I can't unhear the Benny Hill theme now.
Well, anyway, it's a 10.
Bion's just consistently like
Not
10,
good.
11, 14, 5.
Well, like
those handful of numbers.
Use this white dice,
Mm.
and it's not very good.
Yeah, I think you say that every time, and then you continue to use it.
Yeah. I keep talking about retiring it, and I never have.
Because you totally have no other dice whatsoever, just the one set.
Yes,
Absolutely.
I would never have more than one set. Never.
Yeah, says the guy who throws away floor money. Except we know that's not real life, Dan.
No, I don't throw away floor money IRL. Chat. Just so
You're
you know.
like, oh man, floor money. This is a great day.
Fuck yeah, floor money, my
Just
guy.
saying. I found $50 on the floor one time. I was like, this is a great day.
$50?
Yeah.
One time I picked up a 20 and it was one of those stupid dollar bills that's like, vote for somebody else. And I was like, oh,
Have you found our Lord and Savior?
Yep. 20 is great, but you know what's even better? The love of Jesus.
Never heard of him.
No, the 20 would have been way better in my pocket right now. Thanks.
Right? So, what are you doing? I mean, he says that it's a surprise. He can't tell you.
Can I tell that but with my insight check, can I tell him?
Oh, yes. I forgot we did that. I got distracted by Benny Hill.
Benihana.
Benihana, yep. So with your insight check, you are pretty sure, like, as you kind of like look back, you can see that he's crying a little bit as he's saying this, and like you're pretty sure that you've seen him with small children, like as he's coming up to work, because they live on the estate. You guys provide food and shelter for all of your employees, and so like these kids will sometimes follow him up to the estate as he's coming up to check in for work. So you're pretty sure they're probably his, and probably this is not a ruse that's just been going this whole time.
Well, because I'm pretty sure he's innocent, I'll go ahead and stop chasing the other gnome.
Okay.
But I am going to try and stop him from running off.
Okay, how are you doing that?
I'm gonna be like, stop. You just have to answer some questions.
Okay.
I'll make sure you don't lose your job.
Oh, yeah. Yep. What?
Perfect. What is in the wheelbarrow?
Surprise?
For what?
Surprise?
This is an awful lot of surprise. I don't like this.
Well, that's what they said you would say, but yeah, I'll lose my job if you look at it.
I will absolutely make sure you don't lose your job.
I was told that you would say that and not believe you.
How much do you make at this job, gnome friend?
Like what you guys pay me, or
yeah.
Are you asking about the floor money?
Legally,
I don't pick that up other than to throw it away
into your own trash can, and that's totally fine.
No, he's lying now.
Absolutely, yeah. And I don't blame him, because floor money is disgusting and it should be thrown away. It's horrible. It's nasty. I can't believe anybody would ever use it for anything. Tell me though, do you know where my father is at? Is he the one who sent you on this mission?
Well, it's not really so much of a mission as it is a job.
Everything is a mission.
Oh, okay, yes. Then no, it was your uncle.
Yes, Big Unk. He can be quite vicious. So, have you seen any of this red liquid that I've been seeing around the house? Have you seen that anywhere?
He says, no.
Yes, this is all very dire. Strange. Well, I tell you what, because you've been such a helpful chap, even though you haven't really been all that helpful, I guess I will let you get back to chasing your friend with the wheelbarrow, who I assume has not stopped because he probably didn't realize that I stopped chasing him.
Yeah, he's continued to run.
Just picturing a gnome, just like this little like dust trail.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So since you are letting him go, I guess I'll let you go catch up with him, and I will return to the house, and hopefully this surprise doesn't turn out to be my father's dead body.
I think he's alive. That's what I have heard.
Yes, I'm sure. I'm sure that's what you've heard. But anyway,
Goodbye.
I give him a couple gold coins and then I walk off back towards the house.
Oh, as he hears like the jingling of your coin purse, because he's like, okay, bye, and then he hears the jingle and he's like, what?
So I give him a couple coins and off I go.
Okay, cool. Yeah, you guys are extremely generous with all of your staff.
Bion's been generous this whole camp forever.
Right, but like especially generous with your staff because I mean you guys just drop money all the time and you really don't care what they do with it.
I mean, I guess you call it generosity. I call it yeah, we'll go generous. Yeah, that's fine.
Sure, yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
So you definitely, I would imagine, are still looking around, much like you're doing IRL right now. So roll me a perception check.
That's a one.
It was bound to happen.
That's a one. That's a one.
Yeah, no, there's a bug, which is really weird because you make sure to keep all bugs away. Like your whole family is just like, nope, no bugs, don't like them. You don't kill them; you just make sure that they stay off the property.
Right. Okay. That's kind of impressive, honestly, with as large of a house as we have.
Well, you know, magic or something, probably.
An army of gelatinous cubes just wandering around, that would probably handle it.
It's
So I
probably
noticed
killed, but you know,
like a bug.
yeah, just one bug.
Even with my nat one, I notice it.
No, like it like goes right into your eyeball.
Oh, I thought you said
Yeah.
I know. Sorry. Yeah, no, I would definitely notice that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Pretty
Well, I
hard
guess
not to notice.
I'm like slapping at my eye, like, what is this?
Yeah, you've never seen one of these.
Yeah, it's probably freaking me out a little bit.
So as that's going on, you do clock where the two gnomes went though, and they're going towards like whatever the ancient equivalent of a garage would be. I guess the stables.
A carriage house.
Yeah, that's above the garage.
Chariot home. That's what garage directly translates to. Chariot house.
What was the movie where the dude lived in the
fanboys?
Yeah.
You live in your mom's garage. It's a carriage house.
I'm gonna have to go back and watch that again. It's been a while.
Yeah, that's a great movie.
It is. It really
super
is.
fucking fun.
Yeah. So the carriage house.
Yeah, exactly. Instead of returning to the house, I want to go to the carriage house.
Yes, the house for carriages.
Yes.
Okay. Are you stealthing? Or are you just like walking? What are you doing?
Definitely
You've kind of gone back and forth on this. You've gone.
Well, I don't usually try to be stealthy.
Yeah.
Because it's kind of in his nature to not worry about it.
Right.
But right now, I feel like he's like, something suspicious is happening. So he's gonna try and like, I would try to like stealth up to the, maybe not stealth, but undercover as much as I can to where hopefully I won't be sighted.
So stealth.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Maybe not stealth, but stealth.
It's not quite stealth, but it's like stealth,
Yeah,
you know.
like
So I guess
stealth with eyes.
I'll roll. It's a dex check. Of course it is. Everything's a dex check.
All the good ones.
20.
What?
20?
Oh, all I heard was "Holy!"
No, not 20. So beautiful.
I love how that seems to happen though. Like that dice will roll kind of just shitty consistently, and then you'll get like a 1 and then a 20, or a 20 and then a 1.
It's kind of a hoe,
I mean, you
and I'm
know,
here for it. I like it.
yeah. So with your 20, so you are like kind of humming, probably some kind of theme song to some sort of like mission of difficultness.
Is the mission impossible?
More
Some would say.
improbable. More improbable.
Okay. Okay.
The improbable quest.
Perfect.
Yeah. Yeah.
Perfect. Yes, I will hum the Improbable Quest song.
Your favorite play.
Yes, it's a fantastic, fantastic play. Socrates really knows how to. Oh man, I made a bad joke. Who could I have made that joke about? Oh my god, I thought there was a snake in this room, but there's not. It's a piece of paper.
Drugs are bad, okay?
Well, never mind. I don't want to get off track. So I sneak up to the carriage house. Can I hear anything? Do I see anything? What do I do?
You can roll another perception for me.
16 plus 19. 16 plus 3.
I was gonna say 16 plus 19 would be nuts.
Like, hang on now.
Those numbers don't add up here. So yeah, as you like make your way up there, visually unseen, very audibly known that you were there.
Everybody thinks it's just a thunderstorm rolling in. They're like, man, I can hear thunder off in the distance.
And also improbable quest.
Zeus
Weird.
must be angry.
Yeah, I didn't know they were putting that play on today, but yeah. So as you get up to the carriage house, you hear raised voices.
Can I tell what they're saying?
They sound angry.
Like how on a scale of 1 to 10, how angry?
With 10 being what?
The war, they like super.
Give me like an example of what a 10 anger would be for Bion.
Dropping the last piece of baklava.
You sure that's not just sadness?
Somebody else eating the last piece of baklava.
Yes, especially the baklava that was specifically for you.
Yeah, like they're like halfway through it, and then they're like, "Oh, did you want this?"
Oh, I'll give you half. I'll give you half.
No, fuck you. Your germs are already on it, you bitch.
So, yeah, it's like probably an 11.
Oh, wow. Okay. They're very angry.
Yeah.
That's like somebody told me there was baklava and then there wasn't. And then I found out that actually what happened was they just didn't save me a piece at all.
Yeah, your uncle ate it all again.
Oh, is it my uncle's voice? No. Did you just give it away?
No.
Oh, can I tell whose voice it is though? With my high perception check?
It is your uncle.
Big Unc. Can I tell who he's yelling with by chance by voice? Does it happen to sound like Big Phil?
It sounds more like he's just kind of yelling, and the other person, you can barely hear what they're saying. They're not yelling back.
That's even more suspicious because usually somebody be yelling back. Can I peek through a window?
Well, you're not entirely sure where it's coming from. You think it may be like in the third story of the carriage house.
Damn, that's a big carriage house.
Well,
That's
you
like, we got a lot of carriages.
know.
People be asking me, Bion, why you got a 6-carriage carriage house if you only got 3 carriages? And I'm like, hey, listen.
You know.
So I guess I will. Can I go into the carriage house? Maybe like sneak into the carriage house and kind of splinter cell my way up to the 3rd floor?
So when you say splinter cell your way, you're just meaning like quietly, right? Not because Splinter Cell, there was a lot of climbing and like.
Hey, listen, if I have to climb, if I have to roll for it, I'll Sam Fisher
This
this
is-
shit all day long.
This is how Bion dies, and we have to find a way to bring him back.
Yes, yes. I'm assuming there are stairs though, so I shouldn't really
Yeah,
have to climb.
there are stairs.
And there's stuff like that. So no, I would just like to sneakily sneak into the sneaky carriage house. Sneak my
Well, the
way
carriage
to
house, it's very loud all the time.
Oh, good. Then I can sneak even better. I should have advantage
Yeah.
on my sneak rolls.
You're pretty loud.
Yeah, I'd like to try and sneak my way to the 3rd floor.
Okay, go for
Can I
it.
wait? Well, yes. Yes. Final decision. I'm sneaking my way to the 3rd floor.
Do it.
That's a 19 minus 3, so 16.
As opposed to earlier with your 16 plus 3 for a
Hey,
different.
listen. Live and die by the white die.
Yeah, live in La Vida Loca.
Whoa, Benihana.
Jesus. Yeah, so you managed to sneak your way up there. You're just humming the Improbable Quest a little bit quieter.
Perfect. Yes, that gotta keep that volume under control. It's really gonna help me for my tryout also. I'm gonna go
Yeah.
audition for that show. That's my own Improbable Quest.
Yeah, that's your other dream.
Yeah. Okay, so do I make it all the way to the 3rd floor?
Yeah, so that's what I was saying. You made it up there, and so as you get up there, you can hear that the other person sounds very faint, like even from because you could barely hear them whenever you were downstairs. Now it's almost like a whisper, like they're fading.
Can I tell if it's male or female?
It sounds like it might be male, but I mean,
So it's very
dwarf,
faint.
so like, you know,
Can I tell where it's coming from?
you have a better idea. Yeah, it's coming from the north end. You are on the south end
Of
currently.
course I am. Of course I am. I'm always on the wrong end.
Crazy.
Well, I guess I will start to head towards the north end from the south end. That way I can try and figure out what the baklava is going to happen,
All
going on.
right, so roll me another stealth check.
Oh, fuck.
This time with advantage.
These are
because-
terrifying every time.
because
With advantage?
yeah.
All right. All right, purple die. Don't let me
now
down.
you're like in the zone of where the yelling's going on. So
Oh, white die would have wrecked me because I got a 2. Purple die came in big with the 18 minus 3 for a 15.
hey, look at that. Big roller.
That's big enough anyway.
Yeah. So as you're getting closer, what were you trying to find out? Sorry.
Trying to figure out where they are so I can see if I can figure out who they are.
Well, I mean, you know where they are. They're like on the north end. As you get closer to it, you definitely hear that it is one of the uncles you had seen earlier.
Okay.
And the other voice sounds like it might be the other uncle, because there were 2 of them, and then Big Phil.
This is very strange, very uncomfortable. Can I see them yet?
You can see shadows just like cast against the wall. looking much larger than any dwarf has ever been.
Is there an old man sitting at a dinner table just like eating cherry tomatoes, just like really grossly? Because you said shadows, and my brain was me like, in shadow.
Oh, no, there's no creepy tomato eating scene.
There's not a halfling singing very beautifully in the corner or anything. No? Okay.
So,
Well, I guess I'm going to. Can I peek in that room and see if I can tell what's going on?
yeah, so it's less of a room, more of like an alcove, like a big alcove. It's open. There's no like door or anything. And so as you peek around, you know that the light is being cast from in the room on the other side of your two uncles. You see the big unk and little unk. Little unk is on the floor. Seems to be like curled in the fetal position. And big unk is just like screaming.
Screaming like
Yeah.
in pain.
No, like anger.
Grumpy big unk is always scary. Okay, so I'm going to I don't know if I want to mess with big unk if he's screaming. he's mean.
So as you're kind of like having some second thoughts, as you get up to the edge of this alcove where like the shadows are cast, they're not gonna like see your shadow or anything sneaking up on them. You realize that Big Unk is yelling because it seems like Little Unk might have taken something from him.
Never knew little Unk to be a bitch thief, but hey, you never know. You never know. I'm gonna go ahead and burst into the alcove and be like, what's going on in here? Big Unk, are you okay?
Oh yes, we're having a grand time.
You
How are
don't
you,
sound like
Matthew?
you're having a grand time, and little Unk doesn't look to be having a grand time.
And Little Unk just like sets up and says, "Oh, I know you love Improbable Quest. You don't remember this scene? We're rehearsing for the play."
This is all very suspicious as fuck. No, I love Improbable Quest, and I've seen that play many a time. Many a time. Tomas Crucius. Excellent. This scene? Not in that play.
You're right. It was Improbable Quest 2. I forgot you haven't seen that one yet. It's new.
Well, how new? Like, what do we? I'm immediately off track now. Like, how? Like, is a new Improbable Quest, and nobody told me. I'm a Improbable Quest biggest fan.
We saw the early screening. I forgot to tell you. I'm so sorry.
This is heartbreaking to me, Big and Little Unk, that you would not tell me. Anyway, what's going on in the scene then? Like, what is happening? Can you tell? I'm consider it like a you know how like we have a cart. Consider it like a cart for the episode. Like it would be showing me what's going on in the episode. Kind of like a cart behind a horse.
You mean a trailer?
Yes, that's what you want to call it.
Yes. I've never heard it put that way, but that's canon now. He says out loud to you, Bion.
There's a cannon?
He's like, yeah, canon to the Improbable Quest. Obviously.
Perfect. Well, explain the scene. Like when and I'm so intrigued right now. Are you guys going to work with Tomas Crucinius? I think I already said his name wrong now, but anyway.
Probably. I mean, you just made it up like 5 seconds ago. So they say, well, we should probably just let you watch the play. Did you know that our friend, the one you called Big Phil, is actually in Improbable Quest 2?
No, I did not know that Big Phil was in Improbable Quest 2. This is amazing. I'll have to get her autograph. But tell me what. And I'm gonna try and see if I can peek around and see if I can tell where that light's coming from.
It's just like a lantern.
Just a lantern.
Mm-hmm.
That
Like
seems way more.
the hay.
That seemed way more sus whenever we were coming in here. This is all very
Almost
strange.
like everything has so
Yeah.
far.
So tell me, how did you guys make it over here to the carriage house before me?
Well, we went through the door.
Oh yes, that would have been much faster. I went all the way down the hallway, down the stairs, through the garden, across the field. So yeah, that
Yep.
was going through the door would have been much more simple. That would make way more sense.
Little Unk is just like, yep, typical Bion.
Is there a reason that you guys are practicing here and not like on our stage in the grand cafeteria?
Little Unk says, you know I have stage fright.
Then how are you going to play in the play?
I was helping Big Unk.
Oh yes, yes. Very, very interesting. Well, I hope you will take me with you to see the new play. I would much like to. Maybe you could get me front row seats. I would appreciate that. That would be most amazing.
Yes, we could probably arrange that. I'll let Big Phil know.
I'll bring a bouquet of flowers for Big Phil for her performance. I'm sure it's most excellent.
You'll have to see it to believe it.
Okay. Well, have you seen two gnomes with a cart around here anywhere? Like a wheelbarrow?
Yeah, I believe they went through the carriage house.
Yes. They have some kind of surprise and they won't tell me what it is, and I'm very, very nervous. I'm wondering now if it wasn't maybe like a playbill for Improbable Quest 2, and they just didn't want me to see it. So I guess I'll head back to the castle to the homestead. It was just, I'm so sorry for bothering you. I'll let you get back to practice.
They say, and scene. And then they just go right back at it.
Perfect. All right. Well, I'm gonna head out of that room.
Okay, where are you headed to?
I don't fucking know. Do I notice anything weird? Is there anything sus in there that I can suss out?
So as you suss around, you notice that you came in the great big I don't even know what the best way to describe it would be, but like the fancy doors that the carriages would go out, like if you were going to make a big show of things. But then you see that the back door is open.
I'll go out the back door.
Okay. This is your first time going out the back door.
Yeah, I usually go in the back door. I said that, then I was like, fuck, am I allowed to say that? Oh, well, it's happening.
Oh, beautiful. So yeah, as you go out the back door, you see just like a bunch of gnomes, and they are frantically trying to cover up something, like a lot of something. There's at least a dozen of them. And roll an insight check for me.
5 plus 3, so 8.
Okay. I mean, you've been to enough plays that you're like, this looks like they're setting up something for a play, but they're like frantically trying to cover it with tarps, and you hear very loud whispers of like, oh God, he's gonna see it.
I'm just gonna pretend that I don't see anything. Oh, carry on, my friends. This is such a great surprise. And I'm just going to wander off.
Okay.
To the tree line where they can't see me while I watch them set up like.
So are you going back through the carriage house, or are you going a different way?
What was the other option? Carriage house or
a different way?
Let's go a different way.
So you're gonna like continue out the back door, and you're just gonna like
meander off.
Yeah. Go
like very like awkwardly, like, oh, this is what is going on. I could never, because now Bion has this. I've decided that I know what's going on. What's going on is they're going to air the play Improbable Quest 2 for the first time at the Alemaster Estate for my birthday, which has to be upcoming, even though I may have forgotten. I figured it out. I know the plot. And my father is missing because he's feasting with Tomas Crescenius in order to get his autograph for me. Yes, yes.
But you still feel a little bit sus about that paperwork from Big Unk. You know, the Brothers Keeper thing. That's
It
still
was strange, yes, but you know, Improbable Quest 2.
more important things. Dad murdered, play. You know,
But yeah, that's kind of where I'm at right now. I'm just gonna kind of like meander off, thinking that I've got this whole thing solved,
okay.
with the exception of the
And
paperwork.
so as you do this, like you're going on the inside of the estate, it's like this gigantic square, basically.
Like a
Um,
courtyard.
yeah, yeah.
Okay.
And so like as you're inside of the estate house, whatever, um, you hear a scream.
Male or
And
female?
you're not totally sure. Just
Angry or
sounds,
hurt or
hold
scared?
on, sounds scared.
Okay.
And then you see in one of the windows, like on, I would say the fifth floor, you see that there is like only one that there's any kind of light because it's now dusk-ish. And so like only one of the rooms on that side of the estate has a light on. And in that window, you can see shadows. And these shadows looks like someone just like stabbing at another humanoid form.
Oh, another scene from the play. I must make my way to the 5th floor in order to witness this without being caught.
Even you at this point, like as much as Improbable Quest has like invaded your brain, even you are like, but there was that red liquid, which is awfully concerning. No one's seen father in a week.
Or
Someone might have just got ganked.
Or I think it's fake blood from all the practices.
Maybe, maybe.
All right, I'm going. Will I be able to tell what room that is if I run to the 5th floor?
Um, I'll say yeah. You can probably remember well enough.
Let's go to that room in the 5th floor
Okay.
as quickly as possible.
So you make your way past some of the other staff as you're just like running up these stairs, get to like the first landing, have to catch your breath, get to like the second landing, have to catch your breath. And then like you kind of just make your way up slowly.
That's too close to home.
It happens. It happens.
This game is supposed to be about fantasy, not real life.
D&D imitates life.
Yeah.
So as you make it up to the 5th floor, you see that where you are pretty sure that room was, the door is wide open.
I'm going to peek into the room.
Okay.
And percept.
And as you peek into the room, you see just this pool of red, fresh red liquid.
Fresh red. Can I tell if it's like? Is there anything else in there?
I mean, there's furniture that looks like it is just in a disarray, which is not how your house is kept at all. It's horribly embarrassing. What if you had company right now? But also, like the furniture is covered in this red liquid, almost in what you could imagine. You haven't been to the academy yet, but you've read a lot of like detective manuals and things like that,
yes.
Detectives for Dummies and The Dummy Thick. Your favorite book.
Perfect.
And
Comicals. But also,
and there's a lot of sketches of like crime scenes, but obviously they're censored because it's kind of aimed at like younger people.
Yeah, definitely.
But this kind of looks like an uncensored version that you heard existed.
Beautiful, beautiful. But I don't see a body.
Nope.
No footsteps. No step marks. No feet marks.
So there's no body, but there are footprints as well as you see just like a trail of this red liquid
going down the hallway.
Yep.
I'm going to follow the trail.
Okay.
My instincts tell me that's where they went.
So you follow this for quite a ways. It goes down, we'll say 2 flights of stairs.
That's a lot of blood or red liquid.
Mysterious red liquid, but it's on the floor, so like you don't want to mess with that. That's gross.
Right, yeah. And I need
Just
to follow it before our maids find it, because they will absolutely dissolve it, and then I will lose the trail.
Yeah, which you say that, and as you reach, what was it, the third floor? The third floor, it just trails off at the bottom of the steps. It looks like the maids got to it.
Damn.
But as you get there, you hear a door slam and footsteps that sound familiar. They sound similar to the footsteps that ran out of your father's study.
Ooh,
Bless
excuse me,
you.
sorry. Ooh, ooh.
How dare you? How dare you sneeze on stream? That's not allowed.
Oh, it's
You know
meta character.
that.
Footsteps. Can I want to hunt down the footsteps. Hunt the footsteps.
Cool. So there is only one door in this hallway.
There's only one door on the entire 3rd floor.
Well, in this hallway of the
Nope.
3rd floor.
Whole thing.
So as you approach, like it's these large double doors, these ornate, intricately carved, which you know goes to like a ballroom, essentially.
Yes, the royal cafeteria. Yes, perfect.
Because you are royalty and
yeah.
not just rich dwarves.
Yeah, I've just decided now we're royalty. Okay.
Well, that's what you guys call it.
Yeah, exactly. I'm gonna open the doors, not sneakily at all.
Okay.
And
Kicking them in?
Huh?
Are you just kicking them in?
No, I'm just gonna open them normally. I'm not kicking them.
Okay.
And just take a looky-loo and see if I can figure out whose footsteps am I hearing running around.
Okay. So as you open this door, it just like creaks open slowly. I mean, you open it normal, but it just like creaks, and then it thuds against the wall, and you hear it echo throughout the room. And then you hear giggling. And in one of the corners, you see that there's like something covered in a tarp. And the giggling seems to be coming from under there. And you can see that the tarp is just like slightly moving occasionally.
Okay. So I'm going to pretend that I don't notice that, and I'm just gonna leave. No.
Amazing.
I'm
Great
going to be
detective work.
I'm gonna be very obviously like walking around the room, talking to myself out loud about the tarp in the corner, like, or the giggling.
Right.
I seem to hear giggling in this room, but I don't know where it's coming from.
And you roll a perception check for me, actually.
I'm gonna get fucking gang. Oh my god, it's another one
What?
on the fucking white dice again.
Those were all the other damn dice. Stop using those. Burn them.
I feel like you're trying to railroad me into being successful here.
No, I'm just telling you. Stop using those dice. That happens every damn time.
It's so bad. 14 plus 3, so 17.
That's terrible. Yeah. Worst roll ever.
I mean, I can go back to the one.
No. So yeah, with that, you can hear there's actually 2 voices coming from under that tarp. And they sound vaguely familiar, but you can't place them. Sounds like you probably haven't heard these voices in at least a couple years.
Yes. I'm like slowly making my way to the tarp. It's like pretending that I'm not making my way to the tarp. Does that make sense?
Yeah, you're taking like a roundabout route.
Yeah. Like I'm definitely suspicious of said tarp, but I'm just like,
Right.
because I feel like it's still part of the play. I'm playing into their little game. Oh no. Hope that's not a ghost in here that I hear giggling.
And then you kind of get scared a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
About
Oh
it
god,
being
I
a
scared
ghost.
myself.
You're like, oh man, I hope it's actually not a ghost. Like,
Yeah.
that would suck.
Yeah, that would actually be really bad. So please don't actually be a ghost.
And you say that like as you're getting up to this tarp, like you realize, oh god, what if there's actually a ghost under here?
All right. Well, as I get to the tarp, I want to just kind of like stand there, like not looking at it, like kind of have my back to it, kind of looking around the room, like la 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 la, and then I'm gonna like jump around and rip the tarp off like really quick.
And so
I'm gonna yell,
roll me,
"Gotcha!"
roll me a quick initiative.
Oh no. 20.
Nice. Nat 20?
That's that
Or
purple dice.
nat 20 or dirty 20?
Nat 20 on the purple dice.
Hell yeah. So with your nat 20, you turn around and you see that there's like the tarp is starting to raise up, but you raise it up first, and you see your niece and nephew. And they just say, "Gotcha."
Yeah. I act very scared now. Like I jump back and I like grab my chest, like, oh my gosh, how frightening. You guys
But
are
you're actually a
very
little bit
good.
scared because you really thought it might have been a ghost.
Yeah, exactly. Like I'm relieved. I'm like, oh my god, I'm so glad it's not a ghost. But oh man, I have to put on a good show for them now.
Yeah.
You know, and I tell them how great they are hide and seek.
And they say, "Thanks, Uncle Bion," and then they just run out of the room.
They just bail.
Mhm.
Okay. Well, do I notice any of the red stain on the tarp or anything?
Nope.
Very suspicious. Could the niece and nephew be murderers? Who knows?
Only one way to find out.
Yeah. Well, I kind of chuckled to myself as I wrap up the tarp and kind of start to head back out of that room because I'm assuming there's only that one door in or out.
There's definitely more than one,
Oh,
but you pretend like there's not other doors. You
yeah,
tell
exactly.
yourself
Because
that.
why would I?
Yeah.
That door right there, that's the door that I'm going to use.
Yeah,
I know
those
there's no
other
ghost on
doors.
the other side.
Those other doors touch the floor.
Yeah. No, thank you. Floor doors? Mm-mm.
Uh,
So I head out that door with the tarp wrapped up underneath my arm because
Oh, you're taking the tarp with you?
apparently that's what I just said. So
And you're like, "Why am I taking this tarp?"
pretty much, yeah, the whole way I'm like, why am I taking this floor tarp?
It didn't quite. It was like that far away. You know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess I'll go ahead and just drop it on the floor actually because I don't want it. But I rolled
Yeah.
it up
And
nicely. So I'm just
now,
gonna leave it there.
now the maids will come by and eat it.
Perfect. Perfect. Somebody has to feed them. So
Yeah.
and I hear they love floor tarp.
And you guys definitely do feed them, but
Well,
they will eat whatever. They're gelatinous cubes, so
floor tarp.
they love it all. They do not discriminate.
Beautiful. Love them. Love them to death.
So
Do I know? Is there anything in the hallway now that I'm exiting?
you see that there's a maid who seems to be like going around the corner as you walk out of this room, and then you see that from like the other end, there's a light shining, kind of like in the direction where the maid is going. But
Okay.
this hallway, it's not dark. It's not like pitch black, but it's kind of dim.
I'm gonna head to the light. I'm like kind of chuckling like as I walk down there, like, job well done, Bion. You figured out the mystery. Father's probably just hanging out waiting for you to show up for your party. Your niece and nephew are here, which means your brother has to be here. So, you know,
Yeah.
I figured it out. I figured this whole thing out. We are
So
on the set of the premiere of Improbable Quest 2.
So as you walk down the hallway, you see that the light is coming from a small room, kind of like on the opposite side of the hall, from where the ballroom is. So like this other hallway, as you go around the bend, there's just a small room. You're like, I don't even know what that room's for. Why do we even have that room?
I don't know why any of these rooms are for, apparently. Can I hear anything inside the room at all?
Nope, it's silent.
Okay, well, I'm gonna knock on the door. Like I'm doing this thing.
Oh, it's
like,
open.
Knock. Oh, it's open. I'm just gonna go in.
Okay.
My house.
So,
So
as you go in, it was shut, but as you go in, you realize that the red continues inside of the door, and it leads to a sofa.
oh
And
no.
upon said sofa, you see a familiar-looking dwarf, just covered in red, and just still.
How familiar are we talking here? We're talking like Big Phil familiar?
Or Big Nick familiar, aka Papa Ale Master, covered
Daddy
in
boy.
red something. Just like limp, non-moving.
So it is Big Poppy?
Yep.
Okay. I'm gonna go over and I'm gonna be laughing the whole way because again it's Bion. Father, the jig is up. You can stop pretending. Go ahead and rise. And I'm gonna like reach down and like shake his shoulder, like.
And as you do, he doesn't respond.
His acting has gotten much better in his old age. This is quite impressive, Father. But listen, the children are here and they're running around, and if they find you like this, they're going to be they're going to, and like I'm gonna start. I guess I'm gonna start to probably realize that maybe he's not. Can I percept to see if he's alive at all?
I mean,
Can I investigate him?
well, so I'm not
Medicine?
gonna make you roll for it. You're like, it's weird. He hasn't like moved. Doesn't seem to be breathing right now.
Oh no. Oh no. And like I kind of take a couple steps back and I'm like looking at my hands like, oh no.
Yeah, they're red.
Oh no. I'm gonna go out to the hallway and start shouting for help. I'm gonna
And
use thaumaturgy and shout for help.
okay. And as you do, you hear like people running down the hall. And then as you turn around to check on Big Nick, he's gone.
What in the farfanugan fuck is going on here? I don't like this.
Big Nick, wake up.
Is there like a trail or anything? Is there any evidence that he was ever there?
Yeah, so the trail that started at like the inside of the door is still there. The pool of red mystery liquid on the couch is still there in vaguely Big Nick form.
Okay. Well, there's that. At least I know he was really there. Starting to suspect spiders are doing this.
Spiders.
Yeah, just picturing big spiders. Like, I don't know. Is there anywhere in the room that the body could have gone?
So you look around, you check all of like the drawers and the closets and whatnot, and you don't see anything. There's
Fireplace?
There's no more there's no fireplace in this room.
Okay, well, it was worth a shot. Maybe he was
He's
hiding
not
in the
that
chimney.
big. He's not that big, Nick.
Oh, okay. Perfect. Well. I guess now that there are people there, I'm like, well, my father was just here on this couch covered in, he wasn't breathing, and it was, I don't know what's going on. Now he's gone.
And as you are like kind of surveying the few people who come up, you recognize some of the housekeepers who are not the gelatinous cube maids. You recognize Big Unk being there, and Big Phil, and you notice that Big Unk has red on his chitin.
Big Unk, please come in. Tell me what I don't understand what's going. Father was right here, and you can tell because that looks like him in the red liquid on the couch.
It sure does.
The same red liquid. And I turn to him all dramatically. As what's on your chitin.
He says, "Oh, wow, I don't know how that got there."
Where were you about 30 minutes ago?
Well, you saw where we were. I was
15 minutes ago.
I was still with Little Unk. We were
10
still
minutes ago.
still with Little Unk.
They're just doing a home countdown. 1.5 minutes ago.
And he just like, as you continue counting down, he just keeps getting more and more like nervous. And he's just
30,
like, why are you asking all these questions?
35 seconds and 16 milliseconds ago.
He's like, now you're just speaking nonsense, Bion.
Listen, Big Unk. I know the plan is to surprise me with the play, But this has gone too far. If the children had found father in that state, pretending to be dead, it would have been a nightmare.
You, at this point, like, you don't know that he wasn't dead.
Yeah, but
And I
fine.
mean,
if they had found my dead father and you have blood on your shirt,
because realistically, like at this point, even though you're not yet a detective, I mean, you've wanted to be a detective forever. And so like all of these things are adding up. He wasn't breathing when you found him. Now he's missing. And then Big Unk shows up with maybe blood, red
it's
mystery
blood.
liquid. Well, it's red mystery liquid.
Can I call the household guard to arrest him?
Sure.
Yeah, let's do that.
Okay.
I want him and Big Phil put in the dungeon.
Big Phil says, I was with the gnomes out there.
Guilty by association, Big Phil. You should choose your friends better.
Then why aren't you arresting your other uncle?
Because he's not standing right here. He would totally be arrested also.
No, little uncle's there.
Oh,
Oh no, he wasn't.
yeah.
He wasn't. Just kidding. I forgot. It was just Big Unk and
I was gonna say, you only said Big Unk and Big Phil, but yeah, for sure. If Little Unk is here too, tackle him up.
Are you gonna like send the guards after him to like track him down though?
Sure, yeah. We'll send a couple
Okay.
guards after him.
Cool. So, what are you doing now?
I think now I will go and interrogate them in the prison cells.
I mean, that's what you just call like the living room.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's not like a real like in my head I wasn't really picturing like a prison. I was picturing like house arrest.
Yeah.
So
yeah, it's just like the third living room. You know, not like the one that you guys use.
yeah, it's like a little dustier. And like
Yeah.
furniture is like from like 2 cycles of furniture ago. It's like 6 months old. Furniture is. So
Gross.
not even it's so horrible. It's horrible. I can't even believe that we're subjecting them to this kind of torture, but here we are. Here we are.
And you can see like the distaste on Big Unk's face as he sits down on one of these very comfy couches that's like slightly older than the others.
There's not even like a wear spot on it. There's nothing. It's perfect. It's pristine couch. And he's no, for sure.
Yeah, he's just like, don't like this. Don't like this at all.
I'm gonna go in there and I'm gonna like run my finger kind of along the back of the couch that he's sitting on and look at it, like see if there's dust and just kind of. What do you think of these conditions, Big Unk?
And it's like the least amount of dust possible.
Yeah. One
Basically,
tiny microbe of dust.
Yeah, there's like 2 little granules that come off.
Yeah, perfect. I'm sorry we have to subject you to this, my friends, but until father's found, unfortunately, we'll have to keep you here. If I could put you in better holdings, I would, but it's not going to happen until somebody gets to talking.
And they just say, why are you doing this?
You have blood on your shirt, Big Unk. Also, I'm not entirely convinced you were just playing with Little Unk earlier. And father may or may not be dead. I'm leaning towards he was definitely dead and he disappeared. And it seems like something that you would know how to do.
Yeah, I mean, Big Unk definitely is into the magic weirdness.
Seems like it, with a name like Big Unk.
Yeah.
I gave him.
That's pretty sus there, Dan.
I want to see that paperwork you guys were working on earlier.
It's back in the room. You'll have to go get it.
Can I send a guard to get it?
You remember that you saw it was in like his tunic before.
Oh, okay. I don't believe you. I believe it's in your shirt, in your tunic.
And he just like undoes the shackles and says, how did this get here?
He undoes the shackles?
They
Just
don't,
like takes them off.
really yeah, and he's like, how did this get here? And then he puts the shackles back on.
The shackles in my mind are also, just so you know, kind of like it's like velvet, like velvet and satin, like robe ties almost.
Yeah,
you know?
like not even like there's not even a knot. They're just like loose.
Yeah, it's like loosely wrapped around the wrists. That's pretty much how I pictured it. Yeah.
The ale masters are the bougiest.
We treat our prisoners with no respect.
Yeah, none whatsoever.
3 hot meals a day, but they're not gourmet meals.
That's
Only
rough.
1 piece of baklava at dinner.
You wouldn't survive.
Oh, I wouldn't do it. I take the paper from him and I open it up and I'm going to read it. Do I read anything?
I mean, it says basically what I was saying earlier, that like if something were to happen to Papa Nick, Alemaster, that his uncle, your uncle, would take over. If he were to be incapacitated in some way, that he would be basically like his legal guardian. And if he were to die, that Big Unc would get everything, the house, all of it.
Okay. Does Big Phil factor into that paperwork anywhere?
No.
No. Well, tell me, Big Unc. You have to admit this is all very suspicious. That you have blood on your chitin, and I found Father covered, well, red liquid, we'll say for your sake, covered in red liquid, and then also you have this paperwork stating that if something was to happen to Father, you would inherit all of his works.
That does sound pretty strange when you put it like that.
It's very, very, very suspicious. So I'm going to give you 1 chance to tell me the truth, oh Big Unc, and then if you don't tell me the truth, I will have to get the real police out here.
And as you say that, from the broom closet, you hear like thumping. There's just like 3 beats on the door.
I tell them, don't move. And I stomp over to the closet. And in my head, I'm like, I really hope this isn't a ghost. And I grab the door handle and I'm doing like a countdown in my head, like 3, 2, 1. And I yell like, not a ghost. And I throw the door.
And as you pull this door open, you see Papa Nick just standing there, and he says, "Oh goodness, Bion, I made a new brew, and it's much too powerful."
Is he covered in red?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's a red ale. You realize, like, as you open the door, it smells like a brewery, and you're like, "Oh my goodness."
That is amazing.
Yeah.
I'm like, Father, and I pull him out, and I'm like, "What is this? Are you okay?" And I'm like checking him for like wounds.
He says, "Oh yes, I was making this new red ale, and well, I took 1 sip and blacked out. It's very strong."
That is going to be a hit with the masses. We should, Lord. And I kind of like to clear my throat and kind of like act like I definitely wasn't just accusing his brother of murdering him.
Yeah, definitely.
Look who's here, Father. Big Unc and Little Unc and their friend Big Phil is here. And the children are here as well. I don't know what's going on, but something, no, definitely. Like I'm kind of like walking over to like where Big Unc is, and I'm like trying to like take the shackles off of them without being noticed, like all carefully, like
And he's just like looking away, like pretending like he's not fully aware that you're doing this.
And like I like stuff that paper back into Big Unc's shirt, like, oh, here you go, Big Unc. I don't know. Thank you for coming. We really appreciate it.
So, I mean, Big Unc just says, "Well, Nick, how did you end up in the closet?" And he just kind of like looks, and then he realizes he has his ring of teleportation on, but because of all of the ale, it seems like it may have caused it to glitch a little bit. And you know that it's a family heirloom, that if you get blackout drunk, it just teleports you back to your bed. But it seems like it glitched.
Maybe it's drunk too.
Maybe.
That would be a great fucking cool to have in real life. Oh,
Right?
just teleport me home, please.
Like, oh, hey, you blacked out. Cool. Go to sleep.
Dan's gone, literally. Yeah. So anyway, that was my name. So
Everybody knows that.
I know. Anyway, so now that I know that my father's not murdered by my brother, that there was no what do they call that? It's not patricide, 'cause that's killing
Well,
your dad.
by his brother, you mean?
Yeah, that's
Not
what I
your
meant.
brother. Yeah.
Yeah. So there's no family murder. So I'm just gonna kind of like, well, anyway, let's let's make our way down. Let's go get some baklava. What do you guys all think? And I kind of like wrap my arms around like this, like around the two uncles, like around their shoulders. What do you guys
Well,
think? You guys want some?
one uncle and your dad, maybe.
Oh yeah, I didn't get the other uncle, did I? Okay.
Yeah.
Big Phil, would you like to come with us, please? We'll get some baklava for everybody.
Oh yes. Oh, look who decided to show up in the chat.
Was it Jimothy?
I am.
Jimothy.
Couldn't make it for stream, but
We
we're
can
glad
make
to
it for
have
chat.
you. We're glad to have you, Tim. Yeah, he calls dibs on the heirloom ring, though. Sorry,
No,
Bion.
it's my family's heirloom.
No,
Jimothy.
no. Whenever he meets you years later, that's his. He already called dibs.
The only way he can get it is if it falls on the floor.
Which it probably would.
Floor family heirloom? I don't think so.
Yeah, I'll just make a new one.
So I'm gonna leave. I guess I'll go through down the cafeteria to get baklava and just kind of like try and pretend like this whole thing didn't happen.
Yeah, and so Big Phil just says, actually, come this way, and leads you out into the courtyard. And you see that there's like lights set up, shining on this stage. And you see this big banner that says Improbable Quest 2.
Oh my god.
Improbable.
I need to roll a performance check to see if I can pretend to be surprised. Because I definitely already figured this out.
Yeah.
Uh,
Is it a 1?
it's a 1, so I'm definitely not surprised.
Did you use the white dice?
No, I used the purple that time. The purple has spurned me. I just need to go buy a new set.
Cocky. You got
I
two
need to buy a
cocky.
new set.
Yeah,
I just need
that's
to.
what we're seeing. These dice are all
so
used up.
I tried to pretend like I hadn't already figured this out, but I'm assuming really be kind of like, like when you're watching anime and somebody gets like super excited, and their eyes are all huge, and it's like the little glints, you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Pretty much like that for Bion. But
Yeah, and you're just like crying, tears
Yeah.
of joy. Yeah.
oh
You're
my
like, wow,
god,
I had no idea.
Yeah, I had no idea at all. Like they totally know that I knew, and now it's
Right.
So.
And you see the gnome who had been following you is just like trying to sneak off quietly. He's like going around the side of the stage, just like leaving.
Little gnome friend, come sit with us and enjoy the show.
And he just puts his hand up to like hide his face. He's like,
No, I'm talking you. Yes, you. And then I just kind of like keep trying to get his attention as he's like sneaking off.
and he fucks off to go do something else.
We're old friends. We're definitely we used to run cross country together. Yes.
Okay.
He'll be back.
The guy who got winded at every flight of stairs.
Well, my joke was because he was chasing me while I was chasing cross country.
Oh, yeah.
Anyway, it's funny to buy on, okay?
Yeah. So anyway, that's where we're going to end this session as Bion snaps back to the real world as he's about to get roasted.
Reality.
Yeah.
Oh, there goes Bion. Oh. That's funny. We're about to get smoked by a Gene Simmons, and I go back to a memory of getting to watch two Gene Simmonses, and I remember I snapped back and I'm like, whoa, this reminds me of that time I got to watch Mission Improbable 2 at their premiere.
And also the time that like that's what kind of spurred you to become a detective is, solving the murder of your father who wasn't murdered.
Oh my god. I'm seeing my life flash before my eyes. Am I going to die?
Find out next time on Hammer of the Gods. Cool.
We're done? We're still live.
Yeah,
We're still alive, everybody.
Fuck off, Dan. Oh, Jesus. You're the worst.
Bye, everybody. It was good seeing you, but only